What if the biggest thing between you and achieving financial independence is not your income, it's your habits? In today's video, I'm going to talk about 8 habits that completely changed the way Amon and I think about money and helped us achieve financial independence and retire before the age of 40. Hey guys, it's Christina from Our Rich Journey. Almost 8 years ago, Amon and I reached financial independence. We quit our government jobs and we retired before the age of 40. People often ask us what made the biggest difference. Was it our income, our stock investments, the stock market? Sure, those things can matter, but what matters even more are the habits that we consistently applied to them. Financial independence isn't built through one big decision. It's built through hundreds of small decisions that eventually become habits. So in this video, I'm going to share 8 financial habits that can help you make smarter financial decisions so you can get closer to your financial independence goals. So the first financial habit is challenge your reasons. Before spending more than $100 on something, challenge your reason to buy that. This is really important. Let me explain why. So back in the 1970s, researchers wanted to answer a simple question. Does giving someone a reason make them more likely to say yes? So to find out, they conducted a simple experiment. So in this experiment, someone approached people waiting in line to make copies at a photocopier, and they asked if they could cut the line. And the first time they asked, "Excuse me, I have 5 pages, may I use the copier?" And about 60% of the people allowed them to cut the line. Then they asked another group. They said, "Excuse me, I have 5 copies, may I use the copier because I'm in a rush?" Now in this instance, about 94% of people let them cut. So clearly between the two groups, giving a reason mattered. But here's what's really interesting, because they added a third group. And this person goes to the third group and says, "Excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use the copier because I need to make copies?" Now think about that for a second. They give a reason, but the reason that they give is the only reason why someone would be standing at a photocopier, which is to make copies. The interesting thing about this group is that 93% of people let them cut. So the word "because" was basically enough. Our brains don't just like reasons, we use them to justify our decisions. And once you understand that, you can start to begin to see how you justify your own spending. You say things like, "Well, it was on sale. We worked really hard. We use it. We deserve it." The problem isn't that we have reasons. It's that we rarely stop to think whether they are good enough reasons. So before spending more than $100 on something, challenge your reasons. If you cannot find a convincing enough reason to buy that or to justify buying that, maybe you should think again. The next habit is building friction. Most people think that building better habits is to make good habits easier to do. Now, this is definitely true, but behavioral scientists discovered something just as powerful. Tiny amounts of friction can dramatically change our behavior. So instead of just making good habits easier, also think about making bad habits harder. Now think about this in the context of online spending. You want something, you see it online, you click it, and it's done, it's purchased. Buying things online can be very effortless, and Amon and I realized this on our FIRE journey. So we made an effort to make spending more inconvenient for us. So we started going through the online shopping sites that we frequented, and we began removing our saved credit card information from those sites. So then it made it, anytime we wanted to buy something online, we'd have to get up, walk across the room, grab our wallet, take the card out, go back to the computer, enter all our card information. It seems like very minimal work, but our online shopping dropped dramatically. And it wasn't because we were exercising more willpower. We had just given ourselves more time to think about, do I really want this? So if you want to start spending less money without constantly having to rely on self-control, make sure you go to those online sites and remove your credit card information. The next habit is to predict before you learn. This one completely changed the way that I learned information. So whenever I was studying something financial and I was listening to a podcast or watching a YouTube video or reading a book, I stopped immediately listening for an answer. I would stop reading, I would pause the video, I would pause the podcast. I would stop and think to myself, what do I think the answer is before the answer is provided? So for example, let's say that you're watching one of our videos, and in the video, I'm talking about the 3 things that you should do before you start investing in a standard brokerage account. Before I share that information with you, you should pause and think about what you think the answer should be. Then you can press play and compare them to mine. Now, this habit is based on research on something called the generation effect that's found that people remember information much better when they first try to generate the answer themselves before being told. And I think this is so true. In my own experience, I know that I learn stuff better when I struggle to find the information first before someone simply tells it to me. So the next time that you're trying to learn something about stock investing, real estate, taxes, personal finance, whatever it is, pause and ask yourself, what do I think the answer is? You can say it out loud. You can even write it down. Whatever you do, take some time to think about it, and then you can begin consuming the information again. And when you do this, instead of passively consuming information, you are forcing your brain to think, and you're learning better in the process. Now, real quick, these types of habits are the foundation of our 365 Days to Fire program. If you want to learn more, just go to 365daystofire.com. I will also leave a link in the description below. All right, let's jump into the next habit, which is teach someone. Studies have shown that people tend to remember and learn information much better when they expect to teach it to someone. And the idea behind it is that when you teach, you don't just repeat information. You organize it, you simplify it, you connect it to what you already know, and that's when real learning happens. And looking back, I really think that this played a huge role in my own financial journey. 8 years ago, Amon and I started our YouTube channel, and we started it to really share about our journey on financial independence and the things that we were doing with investing, saving, and making money in order to reach financial independence. What I really didn't expect was finding out how much teaching really deepened my understanding. Every video really forced us to research more carefully, think more critically, explain complicated ideas in simple ways. And as a result, we became better investors ourselves. Now, of course, you don't need your own YouTube channel or social media following to have the same experience. Anytime you learn something, maybe on a YouTube video or a podcast or a book or an article, make sure you share that information. Share it with your spouse, your kids, friends, a coworker, whatever you do. As you get used to sharing information that you learned, it is helping deepen your understanding of the material. The next habit, get to know your future self. How often do you think about your future self? And I mean, really think about it. The visualization of it. How does your face look? How are your wrinkles? What do you wear? How do you move? All of these things help you create an image of your future self. This type of visualization is really important because studies have found that when people can more clearly visualize their future selves, they're more likely to make financial decisions that benefit them years down the road. So researchers at UCLA demonstrated this in a really interesting study. One group of participants in the study viewed really vivid age-processed images of themselves so they could actually see what they might look like decades in the future, and then another group didn't. Then both groups were asked how much they would contribute to a hypothetical retirement account. The group that saw older versions of themselves was willing to contribute significantly more toward retirement. And I think this is such an interesting finding because it really suggests that sometimes it's not that people aren't saving for retirement because it feels too far away. It's that they aren't saving for retirement because their future self doesn't feel real yet. So here is the habit, and I'm just asking you to commit a couple minutes to actually doing this. This is so important. Create an AI image of an older version of yourself. You can do this super easy on something like ChatGPT or some other AI app. What you want to do is give them a current photo of yourself and ask for an aged photo. And then once you get that photo, save it on your phone wallpaper or somewhere on your phone that you can see it regularly every single day. And then after that, every morning, take a look at that future version of yourself and ask yourself one question. What decision would future me want me to make today? And that one question that you ask yourself after looking at that future version of yourself can completely change how you save money, how you spend money, and how you invest your money. The next habit is to shrink the starting line. And I'm gonna talk about this habit in the context of starting this very YouTube channel that you're watching right now. When we posted our first YouTube video, it was really hard. We're thinking, what if no one likes this? What if people make fun of us? What if this video is just horrible? And the idea of just starting a YouTube channel originally felt really overwhelming. So instead of saying something like, we're gonna be YouTubers, we just committed to making one video to start off with. We said, okay, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna film this video. If we don't like it, we don't have to put it up, but let's just at least film the video. So looking back, posting that very first video was much harder than posting the 10th video, for example, and much harder than posting our 580th video, for example. The first video was the hardest one to post by far. And it's really interesting because researchers who study behavior change have consistently found that starting is often the hardest part. It's not finishing, it's not staying consistent, it's just starting. And I think people can make the same mistake with money. They think about investing and they're thinking they need to build $1 million portfolio, or they think of paying off debt and all they see is this long-term sacrifice. So the habit to implement is to shrink the starting line. Instead of telling yourself, I'm gonna learn everything about investing today, tell yourself, I'm gonna spend 5 minutes learning. Or instead of, I'm going to organize my entire budget, tell yourself I'm going to review one category. Instead of I'm finally going to build my investment portfolio, tell yourself I'm going to open an account. Now here's the key. After 5 minutes, you're allowed to stop. So you get to tell yourself, I'm going to start this, I'm going to do it for at least 5 minutes, and if I don't like it, I can just stop. Many times I think you're going to find out that you're going to continue with the process. The next habit is to schedule money. This was really important for Amon and I on our FIRE journey because we realized when you schedule things, you are more likely to actually attend them. So for example, you schedule a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, you attend those. You have a meeting at work that's scheduled, you attend that. You have a basketball game or a tennis match that you have to watch for your kids. Those things you attend, they are on your calendar and you do not miss them. Now, when it comes to financial planning, these things are rarely scheduled. We just tend to tell ourselves that we will get around to it when we have time. So there's a concept in psychology called implementation intentions. Researchers have found that simply deciding when and where you'll do something dramatically increases the chances that you'll actually follow through. So Amon and I love this habit, and this is a habit that we actually developed on our FIRE journey. We decided to schedule monthly meetings where we would have money dates. We would put it on the calendar, and once a month we would sit down. We'd talk about our finances, our goals, our budget. It was something that we routinely did because we put it on our calendar and we scheduled it. So for you, stop putting it off and saying you'll get to your finances tomorrow or the next day or over the weekend. Schedule a money meeting and put it on your calendar. And finally, restart faster. I think that one thing that I'm super proud of with how Amon and I handle finances and life in general, and what we've tried to teach to our girls also, is that perfection is never the goal. In fact, we expect to make mistakes. We might buy something that we regret, or we might miss a goal. But here's what I think is really important, what I don't think everyone understands. The people who succeed financially aren't the people who never make mistakes. They're the people who spend the least amount of time staying down after one. Behavioral psychologists have found that people who recover quickly after setbacks are more likely to stick with positive behaviors over the long run. And when it comes to wealth, consistency almost always beats perfection. So if you make a bad financial decision, don't spend months beating yourself up over it. Instead, ask yourself one simple question. What's the smallest financial action I can take today to restart? Maybe it's investing $20 or opening up your budget or scheduling a money date or reading a new investing book. The key is not to focus on making up for lost time. The key is to restart today. So when people hear that Amon and I retired before the age of 40, they tend to think that there must be one big secret, and there actually isn't. There were hundreds of small decisions repeated over the years, and I hope that's really encouraging to you because it means that you don't have to completely change your financial life overnight. It just means that you have to choose one small habit and begin. So if that is something that you're looking for, again, we have built that into our 365 Days to FIRE program. In the program, you'll develop your own personalized FIRE plan, work through daily action items in our FIRE guide, join us for live Q&As and workshops throughout the year, and become a part of a community that even comes together and joins us here in Portugal. Check out 365daystofire.com to learn more. I will also leave a link in the description below. And of course, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and join the journey.